Okay, so we finished stage 7. Got to see Robi's head move. Now we're at stage 8, where we're going to fit Robi's ear trims and set up an arm servo. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to get down here, and I have the parts that I needed for doing this. I have tweezers in case I need them. I never know anymore. I had to get them another time, so I always have them. I have Robi Jr. here. I have mini Robi. I have big Robi that's being built, and tested his servo, which I'll show it again here, just to see. Basically, you push this test set, and his head will move. I was super happy to see that, so I'm going to turn it back off. We don't want that to happen right now, so we're going to put that over there. We're going to get the parts that we need. We need a servo motor, left ear trim, and 3 screws, and then these prior parts, which are the protective pads, the right ear trim, a servo cable, and Robi. I actually had put the servo cable away. I didn't notice it said that, so I'll just get up and get it. It's relatively easy to do. I have all the parts under where the camcorder is recording, so we'll just get the servo cable, and I just put it away, so that figures that I need it, you know. Okay, so get the parts we need, get the parts out of the bag. Okay, I'll put this down here because I'm going to get them out first, and then I'll read the information. Always like to get everything out and available. There's the screws that we need, the other ear backing. So I already had the one like from quite a while ago. The servo motor. Gotta get another servo. Cable. And this is stage 8, and I forgot. Hey Jibo, set up a 25-minute timer.
25 minutes it is.
Thank you. We'll get the screws out here.
You got it.
Probably is only going to use 2 screws, because usually they always give an extra screw. So, which, like I've said other times, I really appreciate. Okay, so we're going to fit Robi's ear and set up an arm servo. Add the 2 ear trim panels to complete the outer casings of Robi's head. Then prepare the servo motor that operates Robi's right forearm and give it the correct identification number, the correct ID number. To move his arms, legs, and head, Robi's fitted with 20 servo motors. A diagram showing these is provided in this stage, which I'll show when we get to that diagram. Robi's operating program needs to know which is which, so each servo has its own ID number from 2 to 21. For example, the servo that moves his right forearm is number 18. When first supplied, all the servos have the same ID number, which is ID equals 1. So you need to change each one according to where it will fit. To set the ID numbers, you use the test board. This may seem a little bit complicated the first time, but it is simple to master if you follow the instructions carefully. So I've got all the parts that I need. Now we can start the assembly. Hey Jibo, how long is on the timer?
23 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Okay, I just wanted to check I set it, because sometimes I set a timer and then he doesn't set the timer. And I need to not spend more than 25 minutes on this. Fitting the ear trim panels. Take the head assembly from stage 7 and the left ear trim provided with this stage, which is this one. The outer surface has a rough texture. The smooth surface is designed to face inwards. This is the tip. Align the trim with the recess and secure it. So this will be the left ear. It's going to go here. Right there. Okay. It's only going to need one screw. Align it with the recess, secure it with the screw. Don't over tighten the screw. Repeat it for the other ear. Okay, so this is pretty simple for the ears. We're just gonna put the ear assembly in. Actually, I didn't do what I said I would normally do, but this actually fits, and I just lost that screw already. Okay. Ooh, no, don't be doing that. If I had dropped that, that would not be good. I am gonna retest he's working afterwards here. Okay. I don't know why, I think the left and right ears would be exactly the same. So, we'll see here, but yeah. And then Alyssa's coming over to see what the commotion is. Okay. Normally I fit it in before, but this one, there's no give and take on it. So it's easy to get it in the hole here because there's no, like I said, give and take. It's gonna line, it lines right up with the hole. Okay. So luckily I had the 2 screws because now there's a screw on the floor. And I'm gonna move his head because it's easier, which I should have just done the other time rather than almost drop him. Okay, so we've got those in. Okay, there we go. Put his head back center, and I'm just going to retest it's working after what I just did. Okay, good deal. Okay, I'll find that screw later. Oh, there we did. Already found it. Okay, sealing the servo cable. As you did in stage 3, inspect the connectors at the ends of the servo cable. You need to apply a protective pad at the side with push marked on it. The pad should be set centrally and not extend beyond the connector. Press the pad firmly in place to seal the connector. Repeat at the other end of the cable. You may find it easier to apply the protective pads after fitting the cable to the servo at step 8. If you do this, make sure you get the connector the right way up with push on the outside when you fit it to the servo. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and put the pad on. And this is what I think I used the tweezers for, as far as I recall, last time. So, definitely would prefer to have the tweezers. If I can get the sticky pad off my finger. Okay. Okay. That's what I did it with anyway. Okay, there we go. Now let's see which side says push. Which I cannot see with my glasses on because my vision is not that good for sure. And the light is shining right on me. Okay, say push. What is it about push that's the side that you don't want it on, right? Side you do want it on, actually. Okay. Actually ended up pretty decently on that one. Okay. Okay. Yep. It's the side with push on it that you put the protective pad, as it says. Okay, let's try it again with another tweezer. Okay, now let's see. Side with push marked on it actually looks different too. I slightly different. Okay. There we go. I got them. Ooh. That should be it for the tweezers now. Okay, handle with care. Well, they don't know I almost dropped them. The servo cables carry the electrical signals that operate Robi's motors. It is essential that each one is connected properly and not placed under strain. If a cable is damaged, you may find that one of Robi's motors won't work at all or stops working after a time. Check the contacts. Make sure that each connector on the end of a cable is pushed in all the way home into its socket. Otherwise, you might find it works loose in use due to the environment of the servo. Even if the connector appears to have made contact, you may find that the base is not properly engaged with the socket and can work loose. So these are basically tips of things. Like earlier on stage 6, the servo motor that runs the neck unit was not properly connected, and it ended up being faulty. Ensure that the connector is pushed all the way forwards and all the way down. Do not pinch the cable. Ensure that the cable, so you don't want to pinch these cables obviously, is not trapped between the parts or hooked around screws and other cables. Otherwise, there's a risk it may be pulled loose, chaffed, or even broken, causing electrical short circuit. Whenever you install a servo, check the assembly instructions carefully to see how to route the cables. Use the protective pads because they play an important role in protecting and stopping the connector and cables from being strained and possibly broken. Always fit them following the assembly instructions carefully. So I'll show this page again. That was the information that we just did. We put the ears in. Almost dropped Robi and hurt him. Hopefully didn't hurt him, but almost dropped him. And then put the pads on the connector cables. Okay, so now we're going to connect the servo cable. I'll show it, and because this chart's going to be very important, I'm going to go over this chart after we do this section. Connecting the servo cable, use a screwdriver to undo the 4 screws securing the cover of the servo and take each one out. Carefully lift the cover away from the other side of the servo. Avoid touching the circuit board or electronic components when you remove the cover from the servo. Take either end of the connector cable and carefully fit it into one of the 2 connector sockets circled in red. It does not matter which one. Gently push until it locks in place. If you choose not to do the protective pad earlier, now you have to do it basically. Carefully feed the free end of the cable up through the circular hole in the servo cover. Make sure that the cover is the right way up. Fit the cover back on, and then put the screws back on. So you're just putting the cable on the servo. It doesn't even matter which one that you select, basically. So let's unscrew it, and the sun is hitting me right in the eye. These screws are pretty long from my recollection if they're like the other screws. So that's one good thing about them. They are actually very easy to take in and out because they're so incredibly long. Okay. And this is the time when I should be shutting the window, and after I get these 4 screws unscrewed, I'm going to get up and I'm going to pull the blind down because it's blinding me. Not having the blind is blinding me. But I would do it now, but I just don't want to do it in the middle of getting these out. Hey Jibo, how long do I have on my timer, buddy?
It'll go off in 13 minutes and 32 seconds.
So I'm doing okay, it seems. I might get this stage done in the amount of time I need to. Okay, because I don't think we have that much left. And then I might actually be able to get stage 9, which is the last stage I have available. Normally I don't shut this because Alyssa sits here, but in this instance I need to because I really just have to be able to see to do these. So I don't think I need to do it all the way though. She should still be able to see out. Let me get it lined up right for the blind. Ah, darn it. I don't want it to be misaligned, basically. And I don't do them very often, so. Darn it. Okay, well, she's not gonna be happy with me. It went all the way down. I will deal with that when I'm done with this assembly. So, just all there is to it. Okay, so we will put this in. Said it didn't matter which one. I'll just pick the same one they did, which is this one. Okay, let me make sure I get it in very, very well. Doesn't seem like I did a very good job there at all. Okay. You got it in? No, I got it in for sure. So that's good. So then we're gonna thread it through the housing. Put, okay. Does it go this way? Oh, it must go that way. I guess that makes sense it would go that way, because if it didn't go that way, it wouldn't have been so difficult the other way. I mean, I'd like to hope that they wouldn't make it impossible to put the cover back on once you have the cable on. So, okay. Be real careful, because I don't want to get it disconnected again. It's not again for this, but on the prior servo I disconnected the cable and I had to undo the housing after it was already assembled. It's not an ideal situation for sure. Okay. Alright, I'm not sure why this one's having a hell of a time going in. Okay. Let's make sure we get them in. I'll get the others in and then try to figure out what's going on with that one. Let's do it now. And it shouldn't need to do that. It should go in like the others. I don't want to dislodge anything though, so we'll just do the other ones, and after they're in, then get that one in. Ah, darn it. I think I'm having a harder time this time putting the servo motor back on because of my fear of dislodging the cable, which I didn't have the first time I did one of these. You know, there we go, got it in. Okay. Actually see it here to see if it's low. It's in. So I didn't even know. I think the other one it wasn't so easy to see, or if it was, I didn't notice it anyway. To see whether it was in or not, or dislodged, you know, loose or something. That one's like clicking. Definitely seems like this motor, the getting the screws in is a little bit more challenging than it was on the other one. I'd like to rest it like down, but it seems like resting it down I might dislodge stuff, so not quite as easy as I expected. But at least because the screws are super long, you know, it's a little bit better. Ah, goodness gracious. Okay, I'm gonna move Robi over here. Okay. Well, some of them seem like they're in okay, but this one of them just does not like to go in like the others are. Keeps acting like the housing is gonna hurt myself or something. That one's actually in well. I mean, housing seems like it's okay. No, it's definitely not. This needs to be in further. I don't know what's the deal with this one specific screw. I want to over tighten it. I mean, it's not. I mean, in most instances, you don't want to have something not as firm as it should be, as tight as it should be, because then what if it has a problem, you know, space-wise, because it's open more than it should be. I just don't think I'm going to get that screw in more, and I'm really afraid of stripping it. So stripping a screw is like one of the worst things you can do, because then getting the screw out is going to be impossible at that point. So I'm just going to accept that this screw is not going to go down further, and that's all there is to it. It's going to have to be good enough. Okay, so we've done that. Now I'm going to talk about the Servo ID numbers that they mentioned, because they have the chart. I'll show the chart again. It's this chart here. Servo ID numbers. Each of Robi's servo motors is given a unique ID number. If one has a wrong ID, Robi will not work properly. But there is no need to worry, because for every servo you receive, the assembly guides will show you how to set and check its number. Here's a guide to all Robi servos and the numbers they will be given. This is done by using the test board mounted in the neck stand. So head forward tilt is ID 15, head turn is 14, head sideways tilt is ID 13. Right shoulder is 16, left shoulder is 19, and then a whole bunch of numbers. And the one that matters today is the right forearm, which is 18. This is the servo whose ID number is set in this stage. So we're going to connect the servo, which that's great. Hey Jibo, how long is left on the timer?
It'll be done in 4 minutes and 11 seconds.
Okay, take the neck stand and make sure the power pack is turned off. Carefully unplug the black servo cable from the socket on the left of the test board. So we had this one, this was the neck one. And I'm unplugging it. So that was connected, and I just unplugged it. Take the right forearm servo with its cable attached. Plug the end of the right forearm servo cable in the socket you just removed the cable from. So we're going to put it into that socket. Okay, there we go. I plugged it in. Press the test set switch briefly to run the servo test. The shaft at the top of the servo casing should rotate 45 degrees to the left, stop, move back across to 45 degrees to the right. After you've run the test, turn off the power switch on the battery pack. Okay, so this here should rotate, which you're not going to be able to see, but I will. I haven't turned it on yet. It says if the LEDs flash rapidly when you run the test, you have a faulty connection, which I had before. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It says, and then it says familiarize yourself with the lights and switches on the test board. These are used to set the ID number. Each time you press the up switch, the ID number increases by 1, and the result is displayed by the 2 blank banks of LED lights. The top row reads in tens and the bottom in units. For example, to set ID to 18, press up 17 times. This will light up the 10 LED and the 8 LED. If you overshoot, press the down switch to take it down 1 step at a time. When the ID number is correct, you set it by pressing and holding the test set switch. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to turn this on and just make sure that the servo is working. Okay, so the servo's working. It did rotate. You'll just have to take my word. I highly doubt that you were able to see it. So now we're going to set the ID number. To set the ID number on the right forearm servo to 18, press the up button 17 times. Confirm the setting by checking the 10 and 8 LEDs are lit, using the up and down buttons to correct the number if necessary. Confirm the setting by pressing the test set button. The 10 and 8 light should flash, then go out. And then we'll check it. Okay, so I'm going to push the up button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And on the back, I have the 10 and the 8 lit up. So now I'm going to press the test set. Okay. Okay. It said they should flash and then go out. I'm not sure that's what happened. Okay. I'm going to shut it off. Turn it back on. And then push it. And I don't think it's set. Okay, so I can shut him off once I get it, and I don't think it's set. So that's a problem.
Hey, it's time for your timer.
Okay, thank you, Jibo. Hey, Jibo, stop. So I'm going to try this again. Yeah, I don't think it's setting. So it's not setting. So, well, this is the end of this one. If I can't get it to set, I'll let you know on the next one, and we'll have a discussion there. But I want to get to doing either stage 9 or at least getting this to work. I'm probably doing something wrong, and I'll want to read through the instructions again. But we did at least manage to get the head to move and the assembly up to this point. Thank you for, spending time with me watching these. For anybody who is doing that, thank you and have a good day.